Julentru, greetings, and welcome aboard my secondary flagship, the ISS Umbracidus, or USS Umbracidus, ShadowStar. I am Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and please allow me to first of all give a thank you to Negus, Dante Demonic, Skyhawking's, Tribal Typhoon, XG Blackbird, Travis Games, Spike, Captain Riggs, Fox Plays Games, Lord Armger and Miss Future Teach for their generosity and support that has made this Star Trek Online ship review possible. So please, at the grace of their generosity, pull up a seat, get comfortable, whether you're members of the Klingon Empire, the Federation, the Romulan Republic, or the Dominion. Please allow me to introduce you to, I guess, the Umbracidus' refit, also known as the Lexington class. Well, this is the Terran Lexington Dreadnought, an impressive and powerful ship that you can acquire either individually or part of the recent 12th anniversary bundle. To be sure, the 12th anniversary bundle gives you a lot of little extras if you were to acquire it. To quickly note, it does come with 3 other Terran ships that are each available in the Zen store individually, and the Mirror Striker Wing Escort. This ship that we'll be looking at today costs you 3,000 Zen normally, or as part of the bundle it is included in, will be, whoops, where are we hiding? 17,500 Zen. However, I should note right now, due to the accessories you get with this bundle, at this 13,125 price point, costing in my currency, my country's currency, pound sterling, £80, this is a massive steal, as literally each individual ship here costs £21 each, normally speaking. And considering you get a tier 6 coupon in this, that already takes you up to £100, and we're not even including the usually acquired from a gamble Mirror Striker Wing Escort, originally found only in Lockbox, normally costing you anywhere between £100 and £300. As you can guess, at full price the bundle is a steal. If you are interested in getting this ship, or should say more than one of these ships, I would definitely advise saving up and going the full way so that you can at least get the whole bundle and every benefit that comes with it. Now, that being said, we're not really looking here to talk about the other ships right now. We want to know if getting this ship is worth it. Visually speaking, there are things I definitely don't like. Stats speaking, well, I remember when we first ever got the tier 6 Star Cruiser, or it was the Oldschool, I believe. Each faction had their own set of 3 ships, a tactical, science, and a engineering or operations. I actually referred to the tactical as, at that very time, the DPS Titan, because its consoles, the full console set, and its combination of power made it incredibly powerful. Lord, even I was able to get some amazing output from it. Nowadays, well, the legendary variant did try to maintain that legacy. Of course, it came with all the consoles of the past and all the capabilities of the past, but, well, that's still limiting, and there's far better ways to achieve the DPS potential of that console set now than there ever was back then. So, how does the Terran variation feel? Now, there are people that have argued that this ship should have been much like the Galaxy class you get, and been a 5-3 at least. I argue that it is a 5-4, since it does have a special weapon, and a very special variant of this weapon that actually deals the Agony proc. More on that in a bit. What I do want to bring to your attention though is that this ship has not really lost its versatility. Having the benefits of the legendary, but then having some superior benefits in my opinion. Well, let's get into the stats and we'll see what I mean. First of all, this ship is an impressive ship of a tier 6 Dreadnought cruiser type. At level 65, its hull is 61,875 with a hull modifier of 1.375. I just tried to say that as though it was something else. And a shield modifier of what I was trying to say is 1.15. Its base turn rate is 8. Impulse modifier is 0.15, inertia rating of 35. It has, of course, being a miracle worker vessel, the impressive bonus power settings of +10 to weapons, +10 to engines, +5 to shields, and +5 to auxiliary. With 4 forward and 4 after weapon slots, it can equip dual cannons, has 4 device slots, 1 hangar bay, and comes equipped with the Agony Phaser Spinal Lance. It also has the benefits of the innovation effects from being a miracle worker and the cylindrical quantum slipstream drive for nice high-speed travel. It does have the launch mirror universe shuttlecraft that are discovery based, but well, I'll gloss over them. They're not that impressive. Well, they are, but they're not, if you get me. I was hoping for something like Terran Universe Peregrine Fighter Squadron. That would have been amazing. I had my hopes up, I'm sorry. The console layout for this is dangerous, as a 4 tactical, 5 engineering, 2 science, and 1 universal. As you can probably guess, this ship is following more along the lines of the operations variant, I believe, to the tactical variant. That is what the legendary follows on the line of. But with the universal edition, it's a very, very powerful ship. Dangerously so. Actually, it might be following the tactical line more, because if I recall right, the science one had 4... yeah. Oh yes, and the operations was balanced. 5 engineering, 4 science, 4 tactical. Yeah, it's following more along the tactical line. It's strong, okay? To be fair, it gets better though, seeing as it has, well, commander engineering, obviously, with miracle worker specialization on that commander, 2 lieutenant tacticals, or sorry, 2 lieutenant commander tacticals, I believe. No, a lieutenant commander tactical and a lieutenant tactical. The lieutenant tactical has intelligence specialization. There is a Lieutenant Commander Universal slot, and a Ensign Science. So, to clarify that, we have Ensign Science, Lieutenant Tactical, 2 Lieutenant Commanders, 1 Tactical, 1 Universal, and 1 Commander Engineering. The specializations are the Lieutenant Tactical has Intelligence Specialization, and the Commander Engineering has Miracle Worker Specialization. The results of this is very thorough. The ship is deadly, very powerful, great offensive capabilities, although its low maneuverability does hold it back a little bit when using its special inbuilt weapon, the Agony Phaser Spinal Lance. The Spinal Lance is actually very powerful, can be augmented with phaser damage. So phaser damage boosting will augment the lance. Also, it comes with the Agony proc, which is along with the typical chance at disabling 1 random subsystem, it also has a 2.5% chance of triggering a X amount of damage over time, phaser damage over time, which penetrates straight through shields, or ignores shields. It's an interesting proc. The problem with the proc is the fact that it cannot stack, so once it is triggered, it's triggered and has to burn out before it will be able to be triggered again. But it's an interesting proc and can be boosted, if you know the means and how. This ship is also quite defensively capable. Maybe not so much in its shields, but definitely capable of being a whole tank. It's easily one of the easiest ships to build into a tank, but has incredible versatility in DPS. Its actual weak point is support. However, X upgrading and utilising the universal slot does result in this ship being capable of support, though average. Average support is better than no support, so we'll see. The hangar bay definitely helps towards the support realms of things, but it also helps towards its DPS. Overall, we have a very functional and capable vessel here, as most miracle workers are. Now, how about we talk about something else? Okay, so can we just gripe? Hang on. Oh yeah, I accidentally triggered him. Can we just gripe here for a second? That mission pod, the torpedo module, is blocking the hangar. Honestly, in my opinion, it should be angled back and moved back. Well, consider the angle of the pylons for the Yorktown. Okay, fine. Just move it back and pull it over the top of the Aquila. Would have been perfect placement. Would have looked way better in my opinion. That's just me. Basically, put it in the same placement that you would have found it on the Galaxy X Dreadnought. Actually, if you really wanted to make it better, instead of that module, make it another nacelle. I'm just saying, it would have been cool. But hey, I guess nacelle would have been predictable. This is not predictable. I don't like the placement of it. I do like the design of it. So I'll give them that credit. Oh, but no, that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about, specifically, now, the trait and console. Now, we're going to start off with the console because there's quite a bit to say on this. Mostly because this is one of those consoles where there's more to it than meets the eye. Now, I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe the benefits of the console. You could take it to the insane, or you could take it to the minimal. So let's just first of all go over what this console does. It is a passive plus 20% to all damage with projectile weapons, and it is a plus 7.5 maximum hull capacity passive. The active ability of it is a 360-degree kinetic barrage that damage scales with the targets. It will launch multiple warheads, although these look like quantums, they are not quantum. Boosting with quantum damage consoles will not boost this console, please keep that in mind. It will launch warheads in all directions, dealing 6,941 damage, kinetic damage, to foes, with a plus 25% bonus damage per arc with foes in, and a plus 10% additional bonus damage per foe affected. So, I had to run some special tests to see exactly what this meant. Does it mean that if the arc has more foes in it, it will deal more damage? For example, you have 4 enemies. 1 forward, 1 left, 1 right, 1 aft. You target with this console. You affect all 4 enemies, so you've technically got 3 additional enemies affected. And you'll affect, there is 1 foe in that 1 arc, so you gain 25 for the one that you attacked, and a plus 30% for the 3 that are additionally affected in their arcs. Is that how it works? Which would mean you gain 55 bonus plus 55% damage overall. Or does it work I've got a lot of noise going on next to me at the moment. I'm so glad you can't hear it. Does it work on the basis of, because there's one enemy in each arc, therefore you gain 25% because there is one in each arc. Therefore you have bonus 100% damage plus, well, because the additional 3 have been affected as well on the target, plus 30. That would mean 130% bonus damage. Is that how it works? If it's the latter, that's great, because it means you don't really need to control the enemies in, but it does mean you need to centralize yourself in the middle of the enemies, which would make this a better trait for tanks than directly DPS. Why? Because tanks tend to get themselves surrounded. It's the job. They're drawing all the threat in, and they're trying to get everyone at every angle to target them. And considering the way this works and what this console provides, it's actually good for tanks. Or is it the former? Now, if it's the former, then that means to get the best out of it would be to control enemies into a singular arc. You've got 4 enemies surrounding you, so use something like what I've got equipped, which is actually why I've got it equipped. I was testing this. Draw the enemies into that forward arc. So now all 4 enemies are in just one arc. And because they're all in one arc, there's multiple enemies in that arc. Would that now make it the 100% bonus with, as there's additional 3, 100 and then over 30. So 130 is caused by them all being in the same arc. Which one is it? Can you guess? Is the phrasing correct? Because that's my problem with Cryptic, is too often does that phrasing not 100% meet what it's actually doing. The funny thing is, it's a bit 50-50. So, actually, it's worse than that. You see, if you're only fighting 4 enemies, then the latter version is exactly what you want to go for. It's exactly what you need to get the best pinnacle damage out of this. But that's because it is the latter. So the moment you start going over and you start having, say, 8 enemies, would it be better to have 2 in each arc? Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. You want 1 in each independent arc, but you want at least 5 of the enemies out of the 8 to all be in one arc itself. So basically, best way to do it is to have 1 left, 1 right, 1 aft, and 5 in front. Why? Because you can peak out your damage mostly that way, if you are a forward attacking biased individual, and get the maximum damage output from the console in that manner. Because then you still get the bonus 100, and because you're affecting 8 enemies, well, 7 additional enemies, you get a bonus 70 on top of that. And they're all in your main arc of fire, so as a result, you then boost up even higher. I mean, EPGers will definitely want them all in one arc, but that creates a minus issue. It's the problematic. I like this console, but I really feel like it should have been the way I described it in the former. So that it's not having the number of enemies in all the arcs, but how many enemies there is in one arc. So instead, it really should have been a case of you're fighting 12 enemies. Having 3 in each arc gives you 75% bonus damage to each arc, plus because there are 11 additional enemies, you gain 110% bonus damage from the foes affected. You get it? 12 enemies spread between all 4 arcs, 3 enemies each arc. You're affecting 11 additional enemies, but there's only 3 in each arc, so you gain 75%. But if you was to concentrate them all in, you'd then be able to gain bonus 300% because they're all in one arc, but then bonus 110% because there's 11 additional enemies. Do you see how that would be extremely powerful and effective? It would make it a meta console for kinetic builds, just from the raw power it would have. But it would also fit and help more. The problem is, the way it is at the moment, achieving its actual peak is clumsy, and I don't like that. I love the console. I do love the console. I do think really highly of it. And as a result, my final score on this console is 9 out of 10. Literally, the only way to give it that one mark up for me would be to change it so that the bonus damage is dependent on the number of enemies within the arc rather than the number of arcs in effect. It's not very often you are targeting tons of enemies, and all you need to do is like exclude fighters to make it from being overpowered. Or exclude enemy pets from making it overpowered. I do really like the console though. I can definitely see this becoming a very important role console for a lot of kinetic builds. Even with it being better that you sit right in the middle of everyone and just fire at all wings. I will say this though, no, actually, you can achieve incredible amounts of damage output with this without having to focus the enemies into a central point. Broadsiders. Broadside builds would complement this console. Yes, that wouldn't work so well with kinetic builds, because kinetic builds tend to be forward arced due to torpedoes and mine layering, and torpedoes not having a very wide firing arc. Awkward. Which is the main reason why I feel like this should be the way I've said it should be, because then it complements on the kinetics perfectly. But actually, this works really well. There's another thing I want to point out here though, is thanks to it being kinetic damage, you can kinetic boost it. All you have to do is use consoles suitable. For example, one of my favourites, because it can boost kinetic and phaser and control expertise, the Deconstruction Resonance Emitter. It may not be a powerful EPG console overall, it's a bit average, but utilising the consoles like this and you get substantial boosts. Not massive, but effective. Okay. Actually, I'm going to save that one on here. I'm keeping that. Right. Trait-wise. I talked a really long time on that console, didn't I? Trait-wise now. Trait. Dimensional modulation to self. Maximum of once per 10 seconds. Either +3 to 30% bonus all damage based on the number of targets with the Starship weapons. So what will this do? Depending on how many targets you've got, this trait will boost your weapon damage output. Whether you being kinetic, energy, doesn't matter, it will boost the damage, and it boosts it as bonus damage, which is sizably better than just straight up damage boosting. On a side note to this, I do just want to hopefully bring up exactly what this does for us guys. So come here, you burger. Whoop. Because I feel like it's a good idea to properly show. So what it will do is when activating a direct energy modulation or Miracle Worker Bridge Officer abilities, it will grant you bonus damage, per foes within 5 kilometers of yourself, maximum of 10. So that's what it's not telling you actually in the thing. Annoyingly. Really should be telling you there. But it is literally based on the number of enemies within 5 kilometers of you will help you gain bonus damage. You can guess that it's maximum 10 by the fact it's 3 to 30%. What annoys me is the fact that it missed out the 5 kilometer thing, and people are going to underestimate this trait now because they've not mentioned that. That's a 5 kilometer radius. It's 10 kilometers in size. It's not small. Most enemies will come within 5 kilometers of you and attacking you anyway. And hell, it's really damn easy to bring them in closer. And the thing is, this is a quick fire console as well. The moment it's expended that 10 seconds, it will trigger off again. It's got no cooldown time. It's great. Honestly, I really like this console. It does require you to be in high fight environments. It's, again, probably better for tanks than it would be DPS, because tanks generally do get more numbers around them than DPSs do. DPSs try to just blast everything away and then quickly fly on. DPS fun. So, definitely I'd advise this more to tanks over DPS, but DPS, certainly consider it. Support-wise, no. Bonus damage is helpful for support, but no. Don't use this trait if you're a support player. For support, I'll give this trait 5 out of 10 because it's useful, just not really one you should consider. For tanks, I'll give it 9 out of 10. And for DPS, I'll give it 8 out of 10. You know 10 out of 10 means it has to become melee, right? And it's not quite there. But it is such a good trait, and I do like it a lot. Overall, we've got a lot of capability with this ship. So, with that being said, come on, let's dock. Let's take a look, and I can gripe a little bit more about its looks.
Cause I'm a whiny little fucker.
That was my bit of swearing for this video. Hang on, was that the first time I've sworn in this video? That would be weird. I swear a lot. Too much, actually. Come on, customize. I don't know why I'm leaving this. Why have I left this in? Hello, right, so the things that we need to note here. It's actually kind of important that we note them here. Reopen the tab again. Reopen the tabs. Oh. Where have I left it? Oh, there we are. Whoop! So, the main things I need to note for you guys is this. When you get this ship, the visuals you will gain from it are the Lexington Terran library, Lexington itself, these being the ones which have the mission pod and lance equipped to the underside of, I want to say the saucer, but it's actually attached to the saucer. It's attached to the neck and docking section for the saucer. And also the Yorktown, or the Terran Yorktown, should I say. I'm actually really happy seeing this because, well, I'm going to show you now. Before now, whenever you saw the Yorktown or the Odyssey, you saw it with this, and that just used to make me think, huh! I hated it. It's gross. It's wrong. Go away. Now, it's almost as bad as this one. Seriously. The mirror markings was not all over the ship. It was only on like the front bits and bits in the rears and god damn it. Jokes aside though, the remodeling of the Yorktown is actually really gorgeous. It's only subtle but perfect. The Lexington looks nice as well. I do like the way the lance is equipped, but I do honestly argue that the lance, because it fires 2 bursts, and as such the Terrans are very angry and aggressive, it would have been much better, in my opinion, that this Lexington be the way it is for just us in general. Why would the Federation have more than 1 lance on it? But the mirror Lexington should have had 2 lances, 1 in each of the necks, or equipped to the necks, pushing slightly forwards. Honestly, to me that would have worked better. I know why it's here. It's because the saucer itself is docked on top of this section that you can sort of see lapping around there, and as a result, if you had put it on the necks, it would kind of create 2 little prongs that were coming off of that section. Might not have worked as well. Or they could have built it fully into the side of the neck, in which case it wouldn't have mattered. They just literally had to flip them on the sides and attach it to the side of the neck. That would have looked amazing. Why didn't they do that? Damn it! Oh, well. Honestly, it's nice to see that you do get these. Now, if you have the Legendary, or have acquired these in the past, you may have acquired the Tier 5s, which will give you the Odyssey. The Odyssey is naturally straight away unlocked. No matter what ship you buy, you will get access to the Odyssey's look. Tier 5, Tier 6, or Tier 6 Legendary, Tier 6 Terran. They all give you the Odyssey's look. The Endeavour will require you to either purchase the Legendary or the Endeavour, the tactical Star Cruiser. Yorktown, well, hopefully this comes with the mirror, because it'd be a bit awkward if you only get the mirror Yorktown. But otherwise that is acquired via the Legendary and the Science Star Cruiser. Don't ask me to say its name. If you wish to acquire this one, it's via either the Operation Star Cruiser or Legendary. And the Verity is the Legendary itself, so you would require the Legendary bundle if you wanted that one. Honestly, you're not missing out too much though. Really though, this ship just grows on me. I really do like the Lexington. The Lexington, the Yorktown, the Odyssey, all designs are growing on me, and I've absolutely, ever since I saw the Odyssey, I've loved its look. I can't remember the name of the person that designed it, but I've loved it. And you still have the ability to modify the, well, paint jobs on the Aquarius at the back, which is only really important if you're launching the Aquarius. But you can also modify the source of the hull, the nacelles, and the pylons. The main thing I want to bring out in attention here is, unfortunately, the Lexington is a hull type, which does mean there is no option, as I was hoping there would be, to remove the rear module. Well, there is. If you want to remove that module, you just have to select Yorktown instead. The only problem is that also takes away the Lance, so if you were hoping to keep the Lance there and just remove the Torpedo Module, you can't. And honestly, I feel like the Federation variant would have had the Lance, but wouldn't have had the Torpedo Module. Which is my little argument to it. It's alright, at least you can have a bit of fun with things like, say, the Pathfinder. Give it the Trailblazer's hull, and yeah, you have extra cannons on the underside of the Pathfinder. Woo! Oh well, she's a beauty. Now, sorry, getting a little sidetracked here. Something else I do want to bring up and mention in for this ship. You do get access now to the Defiant hull, Galaxy, Intrepid, NX. NX looks kind of funny on this ship. Sovereign, which is personally my favourite to have on this ship. It was the Sovereign that I was actually showing you out there. Type 7A fits the ship really well, I will be honest about that. I do quite like it. Ironically, Type 8B fits the ship just as well. I say ironically just because of the era and theme it's set to. And I think it's about time, Cryptic, that you updated the older textures. I mean, you gave us back to the Type 5, which was a favourite because of how good the texture was at the time. But now this one even needs an update. Hop to it now, come on, you can do it. You can do it! So we take the ship into action. I'm going to leave this skin on it now, I think. Because actually, I've just decided the Defiant looks better. It is time. Oh, excuse me. Now, if you excuse me a little bit, what I am going to quickly do is something I probably should have thought about doing sooner. Now, two birds, one stone. So, yeah. Here's a demo recording to it. Let's burn. Oh no, this could be a lot of fun. All I have to do is get this angle just right. And holy moly. Oh, wipe them out. This ship is based right now on the whole factor of how many. In fact, I'm mixing the armament stuff. I have turrets and omnis on the aft, with torpedoes in the front. It's a combination I decided that would probably work best with this ship. Now, I'm not going to use mixed armament synergy. Sorry, not mixed armament synergy. Multi-directional artillery barrage just yet, because I'm going to use that on the final enemies over here. Whoops. Do you guys, like, want to pick a fight with me in it? No, like this. And he's gone. No, but seriously. What the devil? Go on, attack that battle cruiser. Just the two of you alone. I want to see if you survive this. Don't be afraid. I'll be right behind you. I'm going to go after the Jemadars, though, a bit lower down. I'm going to sit in the middle of them, and then I'm going to blast the living hell out of them with the artillery barrage. No, but seriously. Multi-directional artillery barrage sounds like something that you should have got with a legendary Akira. I'm just saying. Really. Oh, that's why they didn't do it, because they're gonna give us a legendary Akira, and they're literally going to put something like this, but with the forward bias on the Akira. They'd have to nerf the amount of damage output from it, otherwise it would just be overpowered all the time. Hang on. Oh no, it's only for this weapon. So yeah, you'd have to nerf the damage a little bit. I'm sorry, but did you just kill both my pets? I'll have you know I'm not into that. Please eat hell. No, but seriously, burn! Let me take all those, because I can just deal with them later. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fly right into the middle of these guys, like a blithering buffoon. And then I'm going to set the thing off. Hello! Oh, have some fun. Ooh, what fun! That didn't do that much damage. It'll be much better in the hands of someone who kinetic boosts. Me, I'm phaser boosting through the roof, so my phaser damage is what does everything. Hello there, having fun? I don't like you very much. I don't like your friend over there either. I think he needs to go away. Goodbye. Hello, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Considering I was messing about a little bit there, survived sizably better than I expected it would. I was actually expecting to take a lot more damage than that. Yeah, so that's a thing. I don't know. I guess that leads to final thoughts. I'm just going to be blunt with you guys. The moment I heard that this ship was a miracle worker, I knew it was going to be really good. I agree with much of the player base that they would have loved to have seen this ship as a 5-3. I do feel like the Spinal Lance makes up for that though. Essentially, we now have... all we need now is the Defiant with a Spinal Lance, and then we'll have the Voyager with it, the Galaxy with it, the Odyssey with it. Maybe we need a Sovereign with it. I didn't say that. No. Miracle Workers are my favourite ships, if I'm honest, but that's just in general for their flexibility. Frankly, this ship is really nice, really strong. I adore it. Couldn't be happy with what we got here. I do recommend it to tanks. I do recommend it to DPS. I'm hesitant, but would recommend it to supports. it is possible to build a decent support build out of this ship. My overall scores for this ship will derive that tank gets 8.5 out of 10. It does excessively well in tanking. It could do even better, so I'm probably underrating it a little bit here. Its DPS potential is right up there as well, so I will give it... Again, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, to get better DPS rating from me would have been to swap engineering and tactical round, or to give it a little bit higher maneuverability, or do as players have asked, done it 5.3. That would have given it higher. That would have knocked it up to 9.5. Support wise, I'm going to give it just because there is something in there for it. It's not great, but something. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. And the overall score, well, thanks to it being a miracle worker with an intelligence seated position as well, which is nice to see. I do like intel, I do like miracle worker, I am a fan of both, despite what others may say. I think the consoles and the bridge officers are quite nice for this ship. Maneuverability is easy to tackle. It's a turn rate of 8, so it isn't actually that low. It's low, but for a Dreadnought cruiser with a hangar, it's not. Honestly, this ship has just so much potential to it. And to make it all the match better, it's a Xen-Store ship. It's not locked behind in a massive, expensive, legendary bundle in the Xen-Store either. It's part of a not too pricey anniversary bundle with such great benefits to that bundle that it's well worth buying the bundle. It's also packaged with some great ships in that bundle, including a lockbox ship. But if you want to just get this ship alone, you can do, and you gain massively from doing so. So as a result, the final score of this ship, 9.5 out of 10. Bonus marks given to it for being cheap, therefore budget build accessible, and also being bundled in with such a brilliant bundle. That's at a fair price. 2 benefits for it there, other than the fact it's an absolute beauty of a ship that is slowly growing on me. Stop it. Stop it. Too bad I can't put my sails back with that module. Then they really look out of place. Ooh, maybe that can counter it. I've just had an idea. Well, hopefully guys, you've enjoyed this video and found it informative. Hopefully I will hear from you, see you next time, because you'll join the crew of the ShadowStar by hitting the subscribe and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss out on future missions. But if you want to help out this channel with no cost to yourself, then please consider hitting that like button or sharing the video on your favourite social medias to show YouTube this video is worth watching. I hope it's worth watching. I look forward to reading all of your comments below because they are always nice to see. The comments on the recent 2 videos I've just posted are absolutely brilliant. You guys have got me so hyped up and happy, it's unreal. And for bonus marks, the people that are helping to support this channel, I've credited them once at the beginning. Now let me say thank you to them again. They're credited on screen right now. My unbelievable donation supporters, whose generous donations either through subscription or one time, what make these videos possible. So a massive thank you to you guys as well. If you wish to join them, the links are in the description. But that's enough said here. Until next time guys, thank you for listening to my rhetoric and waffle, for tolerating me, and stay safe. May you live long and prosper. But of course, long live the Empire, or in my case, the sovereignty.